go to the tape here, and there is one number here that will be, I think, of singular importance for Jamal James, and that is his very big reach advantage. He hopes that that is going to help him land his jab, which he throws more often, by the way, than any other welterweight. So he's hoping that big reach will help him land that punch.
The rules for tonight's main event: there is no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round if a fighter cannot continue due to an injury from an accidental foul or headbutt before the end of round 4. It's a no decision. After the end of round 4, they go to the scorecards for a technical decision. And now with the official ring introductions, the maestro on the microphone, Hall of Famer Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Michelob ULTRA Arena here at Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, as Premier Boxing Champions presents the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by TGB Promotions and Showtime. Sponsored by Geico, this bout is sanctioned by the WBA, the president Gilberto Jesus Mendoza, and the supervisor is Mark Rissman, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman is Stephen J. Klubeck, Executive Director Bob Bennett. 3 judges scoring from ringside: from California, Max DeLuca; from Nevada, Patricia Morse-Jarman; and from Connecticut, Don Trella. Introducing our referee in charge of the action, Celestino Ruiz. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBA Welterweight title. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, it's showtime! Introducing to you first the challenger on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim, fighting out of Indio, California, by way of Khasavyurt in Russia. He weighed in at 146 1/4 pounds, undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 13 wins, no losses, 1 no contest, with 10 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the challenger, the current WBA number 4 welterweight world contender, introducing the undefeated Radzhab No Mercy And his opponent across the ring is the defending champion, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing gray trunks with gold trim, fighting out of and proudly representing his home of Minneapolis, Minnesota. He weighed in at a trim and ready 145 1/4 pounds. His record stands at 27 wins, only 1 defeat, with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight in his Showtime debut, here is the WBA welterweight title holder, introducing Jamal Shango James. Once again, a referee in charge. Now to give instructions, Celestino Ruiz.
Gentlemen, I gave you guys your instruction in the dressing room. I expect a clean, fair fight, start to finish. You're good here. You're good here. Let me remind you, in case of a knockdown, go to the neutral corner. If not, you will give your opponent a longer 8 count. Good luck. Touch up.
Celestino Ruiz, 14 years pro as a referee, his 328th professional fight as Showtime Championship Boxing returns to Las Vegas. There's Mark Davis, the owner of the AFC West, leading Las Vegas Raiders, a record of 5-2, and just like his dear old dad Al would say, for Butaev and for James, it's just win, baby. The bell and round number 1. And again, James coming off the longest layoff of his career. It's all about that long jab, while for Butaev, it's all about bringing the pressure. And if he is able to get in on that real thin body of James, that could prove to be very beneficial for Butaev.
I think you made a very important fight. That for a fighter like James, that layoff could have a little impact because of how much he relies on timing and the jab and all the rest.
Like what James is doing so far, fighting tall. That's what he has to do. He's got to fight tall, use the range, jab, use the whole ring. Get Butaev off balance.
And of course, for James, Jaron Ennis just blew away Thomas Delorme in James' last fight. He went the 12-round distance with Delorme back in August of 2020.
Yeah, the same Delorme that just got knocked out in 1 round by Ennis. Staggering.
Since the loss to Ugas, James has won 7 straight fights.
You know, Butaev only throws 46 punches per round, 73 normally by James. But Butaev's mission is to make those punches count and land something powerful.
And when he is able to execute his attack, he's been very proficient as he eats that right hand behind the guard from James, but he has the habit of taking the foot off the gas, Butaev, at times.
James doing exactly what he has to do against a bully, a fighter that keeps coming forward. You jab, stay at distance. You see him coming, you take a step back, keep him guessing.
And while James loves to work behind that jab, he is not averse to getting into the trenches and fighting smaller at times. 3-punch combination by James. One of the great ambassadors of the sport of boxing. We saw in the feature what he's doing for the youth in his native Minnesota.
Just special, really special.
And of course his trainer, a person he calls dad, Shankara Frazier, and what he's done with the circle of discipline. And James remaining disciplined as Butaev tries to bother him with that jab.
Yeah, and that is a key, is it not, Abner, for Butaev?
Yes, I was going to say James was blinding Butaev with the jab, but guess what? Butaev came back with his own. And he's doing damage. He's got a power jab.
If Butaev can use that jab effectively tonight, he's going to do well.
Butaev has sparred with the likes of Sean Porter, who was in attendance here tonight, and again, will take on undefeated 147 belt holder Terrence Crawford as Butaev goes to the body with the right hand. And another right, great start by James, and a good finish by James with Butaev having his moments as well.
For sure. Well, this is going to be a very interesting tactical battle on many levels, and we'll look at the keys to victory for these men. For James, he uses his jab as a rangefinder, but it's also his best offensive weapon, so we'll see that a lot. He can be a dazzling combination puncher, and he could use that here tonight. Now, the center of the ring is where he wants to stay. Wants to keep this fight he wants to stay off the ropes. Delorme made him pay on the ropes. And for Butaev, sometimes he attacks with no head movement, and he's got to use that here tonight. James wants to move, so he has to cut that movement off and cut off the ring. And Butaev will need his left hooks to both the body and the head. That's his power punch.
Step back.
Bell in round 2 for Butaev. The body work led to his last win over Terry Chatwood, a 3rd round KO over Chatwood after landing a hook to the opposite side of one might expect. So Butaev, solid body puncher, but facing a top test in James, who can also go to the body.
Butaev is, like you mentioned, he's a great body puncher. How does he get in with the power jab? He sets up that jab, great uppercut, and once he's in there, he goes for the body as well. Great body puncher, upstairs and downstairs.
The early headline in this fight is how effective Butaev has been with his jab to both the body and the head. If he can keep using that punch, and as you said, Abner, working his way in, he could have himself a good night.
In November 2019, Butaev originally lost a 12-round decision to Vesputin, but the result was changed to a no decision after Vesputin tested positive for a banned performance drug. It wasn't a great night for Butaev, and yet It doesn't go on his record as a loss. He's 13-0 with 1 no contest, 10 knockouts.
And that was a fight in which Joe Diaz was not with him. He did not train him for that fight and was not with him. So that could have made a difference as well.
Right, against Alexander Vesputin. But here now looking to put his best foot forward against James.
I like what James is doing. He's circling around the ring, keeping Butaev off balance. That's how you keep him off balance. You don't want him set, just like right there.
Nice right uppercut on the inside by James, who's exhibiting no ring rust whatsoever after a career-long 14-month layoff. And now Butaev exchanging, so a fan-friendly exchange here in the second round.
Nice counter right hand by James.
Nice lead left hook to the body by James. And that right uppercut, right hand, left uppercut. Beautiful combination. Talking to one of your keys, Al Bernstein.
Yeah, I think he's a better combination puncher than some people give him credit for.
And overall inside punches too.
And it didn't take long for James not to necessarily abandon the jab, but he is fighting fire with Butaev.
This could turn out to be a really fun fight.
Butaev just at the bell line with that left hand. And really, doesn't this type of fight benefit a guy like Butaev, Abner?
Well, it does. I mean, James is doing everything right, but Butaev at the same time doing everything right, which is pressuring. It only, James can only take so much pressure.
And the shot-for-shot power I would give to Butaev.
Yes, he's working his way in really good, and the power shots inside are really good for Butaev.
Exchange left hooks, one upstairs by Butaev, one downstairs by James. Butaev putting the pressure on, and this is his modus operandi. Keep applying smart pressure.
Yeah, but that was a good round for James, even though that's the case. Well, the combination punching of James can be really, really good, and we saw that in the middle of that last round. He doesn't land with everything there, but what does he do? He keeps going with the left hook to the body, then the straight right hand. And later on in the round, throwing that uppercut, we saw that, and again, throwing punches in combination. When you do that against a fighter like Butaev, you're going to freeze him, and he won't be able to offensively get it done.
You hear me? Yes, sir. Here you go.
Frustrate the guy.
He's standing up there. Don't fall in like that. He's trying to bring something up. Fight him hard. Fight him long. Fight him long.
Have fun, man.
Have fun out there.
And as superior as James has been in these exchanges, really, when you look at this fight, for Butaev, it's the inside fight, really the best path to victory, maybe the only path to victory against a guy like James.
Yeah, so James can be effective in those rounds and maybe win those rounds, but then you wonder, will he pay a price later?
Especially early on in the rounds, it's fresh. He's still able to move around. But if Butaev is consistent and works the body, breaks him down little by little, it's going to get hard for James.
And coming into this fight, a virtual pick'em, according to odds makers. I noticed early this week that Butaev a slight favorite going back and forth. So again, high-level competition, speaking to the depth of talent at 147 pounds. And James loading up on the uppercuts, then the left hook. Jamal James putting on a show in the third round, but here comes Butaev with a right to the body. Wow, good combination by Butaev. Terrific stuff here in round 3.
Both men doing what they do best within a 1-minute period.
And James saw something already with Butaev. What is it, the uppercuts? He's easy to get in. He's placed perfectly, Butaev, to get hit with those uppercuts.
Man, the uppercut has always been an effective weapon. There's another right uppercut by Butaev, but Butaev going over the top.
Give you a hard warning.
With two right hands, getting a hard warning from the referee for punches to the back of the head.
Back to the jab. You don't want to forget that jab, James.
And he's definitely not forgetting about the uppercut. Neither is Butaev. Good stuff here. And at this range, scintillating exchanges.
Really good stuff from both. Both fighters doing exactly what they have to do.
And yet Butaev now ensuring that James' jab not as effective as he continues to close the distance out.
And you said it earlier, sometimes James fights smaller than he is, and that's what he's doing right now.
And while the fans enjoyed, and James loading up with a right uppercut. It might not be the best strategy against a guy like Butaev.
Yeah, for us it makes it more fun, but for him when he goes back to his corner.
Man, the referee is really admonishing Butaev. Butaev better be careful.
James doing good work too.
Oh, absolutely.
He's landing
fantastic round.
Not the fight where he wants to be.
A thriller of a third round here in Las Vegas. Coming up on the final 30 seconds of the stanza. Double left hook, one upstairs, one to the body. James going to the body.
Yeah, it's interesting. Butaev we know he's a really good body puncher. So is James.
Coming up on the end of the third round, James has already thrown 200 punches. Butaev close behind with 140. So punches and bunches. And a great start to this.
That angle. You're giving it to him.
Main event here in Las Vegas. Thudding body shots.
Hey, he's tired. Come on. Radzhab. Hey, when he's going down, hey, uppercuts, body here, uppercuts, come on. Let's go, Radzhab.
How's he look over here?
Well, Joe Diaz asking his man for uppercuts. It was James, though, that used this punch so effectively. And if it's going to work once, keep throwing it, right?
It's going to work 3 times. He threw it 4 times there. And like you mentioned, the body work that he's doing.
The placement.
And after another, this would be, again, the uppercut by James getting in there.
But Butaev worked well.
Yeah, and those are the blows that he got a warning
yes.
for maybe hitting behind the head.
Butaev has never been down as a pro. James has been down 3 times. The last time came against Wale Omotoso in July of 2016. 4th round scheduled for 12.
Butaev just turned southpaw. I don't know if this is going to work, trying to show something different.
Have you ever seen? I've never seen him fight as a lefty before. That'll be intriguing to see how.
Theater of the unexpected.
I love your announcer voice.
It's my Halloween announcer
That
voice.
sounded like an old-time radio guy.
Only the shadow knows. Just passed. 30 seconds gone here in the 4th, and again, sharp lead right hand splitting the guard, and the double jab from James putting on a clinic.
And that's the danger of switching lefties.
Yes.
You know, James has a good right hand, plus he might make that uppercut more valuable.
Battering the body of Butaev, and Butaev now bullying James in the corner. James with that shoulder roll avoiding some of these shots.
James doesn't want to be on those ropes.
And he doesn't want to duck into an uppercut. And there's a short right hand. He misses with the uppercut. Terrific action here.
Stop.
In tonight's main event, and referee continues to try to keep Butaev from doing what Butaev's done well, I think.
I was not liking what Butaev was doing as a left-hander, but so far he's doing
But
great.
what about what the referee's doing to Butaev?
He's killing his momentum. You know, it's not right.
James going, and Butaev bounces back with a couple of heavy shots, and now going to the body again with a right hook.
You know, the trick is the fact that as a lefty, he can get the right hook into the body better than a left hook as a righty.
Yes.
So he knew something we didn't know, that's for sure.
And James having trouble, putting his foot outside Butaev's foot.
Yes.
That's a softball.
Final minute of the 4th round, and both fighters already combining for nearly 500 punches thrown, nowhere near the midpoint of the scheduled 12-rounder. And Butaev comes in with the left may have bothered James appears to be staggered a bit. He was hurt with that shot, and now maybe playing possum, maybe trying to set a trap, but I don't think James is all good right now.
James is not only staggered, but he is tired. That body work for Butaev has done effective.
And Butaev continues to brutalize the body. James coming upstairs.
You know they didn't expect Butaev to be a lefty, and he's done it effectively in this fight.
He's almost as effective as Jamal Butaev is, and of course, this welterweight division is cooking in Las Vegas. An incredible exchange, both of them taking thunderous shots. James appears to be, his legs appear got to be under him. Wow.
That was a great round.
Great fight.
You gotta move. You gotta move. You tired?
No, sir.
You feel weak?
My legs, man.
Huh?
My legs. I'm good, though. I'll make it work.
Pivot. Just pivot. Step.
Well, Joe Diaz assured us Butaev hits with authority, and he's now showing us that. As a left-hander with that leaping jab, Butaev, and that really got his attention. And then when he pushed James against the ropes, Abner, where he doesn't want to be, Butaev, you're doing good work.
Yeah, where James doesn't want to be, but the same fact that, you know, he's southpaw, he's got his foot outside, he does not let James get out of there, so, and he's working the body really well.
And Butaev has recorded body blow knockouts in his last fight against Terry Chatwood. Back in 2017, Shurzodbek Alimjanov couldn't handle the body work of Butaev. Will Jamal James be able to handle it as this fight continues? This is round number 5.
So according to Showstats, in the last 25 rounds before this fight, James had outlanded his opponents in each one of them. Doesn't mean he won every one of those rounds. That streak came to an end.
Yeah, but you're leaning down. Stop leaning down.
And you know what happened is that Butaev changed the gear. He's more aggressive now, throwing more, and James just can't keep him off him.
And Butaev gaining confidence, lunging in with that left, keeping himself exposed, has to be careful again, has never been down. And while James is not known as the biggest puncher in the world, does have 12 knockouts. Ooh, right uppercut on the inside by James.
James has to go back to what he was doing in the beginning, lateral movement.
And you look at the total punches, Butaev, who was down in that number in terms of landing, had a big round in the last round. Now Butaev going back to lefty. I was wondering why he came out as a righty in this round when he was so effective as a lefty last time. Now he's back to lefty. Big surprise by he and Joe Diaz to launch this left-handed attack against James.
He looks adroit as a lefty, leads with the left hand. There was a clash in sportsmanship displayed by both fighters. A minute and a half left in the 5th, and James appears at times to be on inline skates. Ooh, a nasty left hand right to the breadbasket by Butaev. And these shots will pay dividends.
Yes, you got to keep turning Butaev if you're James, but he's not. He's staying right in the pocket. He's standing right in front of him, so Butaev really effective with the straight left hand as a southpaw.
I'm sorry, but the other thing that's happening is because James is fighting at short distance, his jab has become less important.
Absolutely. Under a minute left in the 5th, and it's Butaev that continues to batter James. The body language. And again, you want to judge each round. Who would you rather be at the end of each round? Well, 45 seconds left here in the 5th, and James keeps coming forward, but he is off balance.
Yeah, he doesn't quite have his legs under him 100%. Maybe a point deduction here, which I hope there isn't because
1 point foul. 1 point foul.
Wow.
1 point foul. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't spin him around and hit him. You got it? You good?
Has taken some steam out of Butaev's fight as deducting a point here with less than 30 seconds left in the 5th.
I thought that was premature.
So did I.
Same here.
Let the fighters fight.
And you give him a warning for not letting go in the break, but I just didn't think that was.
And especially a fight like this.
Absolutely.
A fantastic first 5 rounds. Counter upstairs by James, but it appears James can't hurt Butaev.
Hey, you're hitting behind the head.
Well, here's where he's going to be called for a foul. Now, what happens is he throws this punch at Jamal James. Now, the question is, Abner, I guess there was no clinch call. It was James that turned around.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, he turned him. Based on a little switch. There he is. He tried with the left.
Would you have punched there if you were fighting?
It's fair game, of course.
Yes.
It's fair game. I don't know. It's the referee did not have to take a point away from Butaev, and not only that, when he has a momentum and he's throwing good punches while James is on the corner, he goes in there and he separates them. I don't like that either.
Radzhab, wake up. Let's go. Hey, finish up. Let's go. Finish up.
I have a feeling that point deduction is not going to alter the game plan or the attack of the undefeated Radzhab Butaev, who continues to build cachet here as we enter the 6th round of this 12-round affair at 147 pounds. And there's that power jab from southpaw by Butaev.
You know, James needs to get back to using the jab effectively and showing a little lateral movement. Now him turning to lefty makes that jab a little more problematic.
And he needs to get his legs under the mat.
Yeah,
he needs to get his sea legs back.
Yeah, it's really going to be hard for him to do just what you mentioned now, because he does not have his legs behind him. You know, he's stationary now.
He's throwing himself off balance with that left hook.
And that's a sign of his legs not working, you know, not functioning how he wants them to function.
James continuing to move and being forced to have to go back to try to establish the jab. But Butaev again closes the distance and throws a combination, but James trying to keep him at bay.
You know, it's interesting, Butaev going back to the righty stance now. He's been a little inconsistent in staying in that left-handed stance. He's clearly more effective as a lefty.
And James is more effective when Butaev's orthodox.
Yeah, I agree.
I think what he's trying to do is, you know, he's trying to give him different faces. Yeah. Exactly. And surprise him. Next thing you know, because I'm sure
all right.
I'm sure James was expecting for him to be left.
Butaev's got to be careful. Already had a point deducted. Minute and a half left in the 6th. Lands the lead left before they come to close quarters. There appears to be not a lot behind the punches of Jamal James. Again, never really a big puncher, but a lot of the starch has been taken out of the punches due to the sustained body attack by Butaev.
Yeah, I agree. And in this round, in the last minute, Butaev has shown some hellacious body punches.
A final minute of the 6th. Butaev leads with the left. James trying to establish the jab instead of being offensive, just really trying to keep Butaev at distance.
Great defense from Butaev, too.
Watch your head, watch your head.
That's really smart aggressiveness.
Exchanging uppercuts
from Butaev. Close guard, he gets in close.
Oh. Nice exchange, both of them landing solid shots. 30 seconds left in the first half of this terrific scrap.
That's James' fault. You can't turn around.
Oh, solid jab. It really is a power jab. And from southpaw, reminiscent of Mr. Pacquiao. At the end of the round by Butaev. What a first half to this main event. And speaking of great combinations, a man who lit up Las Vegas like the Strip, Jaron Boots Ennis, in his pro debut in Vegas with a first-round knockout of Thomas Delorme. And he is watching with vested interest. And guess who was impressed by Jaron Boots Ennis? None other than the Magic Man himself, Irvin Johnson.
Who is, by the way, a huge boxing fan.
And he knows a thing or two about being a champion.
Yes, he does. We go back and look at this great action in the last round. And both men were able to get some work done. And, you know, I mentioned James can go to the body too, but Butaev had control of that round, even though James did things like that straight right hand and did land some good punches in that round, but Butaev was just more consistent with his big punches, and that came from the lefty stance.
Nothing behind the punches from James right now. Butaev being really aggressive and really powerful coming in.
Well, Jamal James is getting married a week from now. He would like to turn this around a little bit. It's still a close fight because of the good start he got off to, but he'd like to turn this around to make it a little happier honeymoon.
Second half of this 12-rounder is underway, and James more aggressive to start the round. Working the jab, goes downstairs with the left hook, but it's Butaev from southpaw, lunging, lead right hook. I know that combination landed. James caught with the right, stung again.
You see what happens, he's so unpredictable. Butaev, James did not see those overhand rights, hooks coming.
A lot of gumption to Jamal James, though, as he continues to fire back.
He's working on the inside and landing some, but it's Butaev's strength on the inside that's winning the day.
Right uppercut on the inside, left uppercut. Let's bring in our unofficial scorer, Steve Varhood, while we have the chance. What a fight, Steve. How do you have it at the midpoint?
Pretty easy to score, Mo. It's a very close fight. It would be even except for that point deduction in the 5th round. I gave that 5th round to Butaev, but it ended up being a 9-9 round because of the referee's point deduction. Momentum seems to be in favor of Butaev at this point, but remember, judges don't score momentum, they score effective punches. So every round is a clean slate.
Yeah, the first round is as important as the 12th, and here in round 7, Butaev continues to move forward as James popped off a right uppercut off his chin, and again, Butaev reacts like he didn't even feel it.
Yeah, James has gone back to that uppercut in this round, and that's been effective for him. This is a close round of boxing, round 7.
And he's doing good body work also.
Yeah, he is.
But the power advantage belongs to Butaev. The shots, the way he places the punches.
You know, James is fighting this fight totally on the inside right now, and that, at the end of the day, that just doesn't suit him as well.
Especially against a guy like Butaev, as we are seeing here unfold.
He's fighting short. He's fighting at the range of Butaev.
And we've seen a lot of uppercuts thrown, man. The way James dips down to his right, he better be careful.
Both ends. James he's landed good uppercuts, but you know, the power is not on his side.
And that's why, with his physical dimensions, he should try to establish the jab work from range again, but I know people everywhere are like, do not say that. We're enjoying this toe-to-toe action.
Now look at that body work from Butaev.
Look at the upstairs work. Look at the entire work by Butaev. Joel Diaz wasn't lying. He said Butaev would be bringing the pressure, would be looking to knock out Jamal James, and he's attempting to do just that.
Stop.
Al, you mentioned Jamal James about to walk the aisle. There is his fiancée, Marley Dorsey. Doesn't look to be the happiest of people right now.
Well, this fight took a turn in momentum. The first 3 rounds, very good for Jamal James. The last 3, not so much.
Get them legs going. I want you jabbing, I want you moving. Step off. I said step off, brother. You standing right there in front of the boy. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
You want this?
Yes, sir.
Do you want it?
Yes, sir.
Act like you want it. All right?
Let's go to work, baby, let's go. Radzhab, let's go. Hey, combinations, good distance, jab, whatever. Go.
It is gun check time, and the James corner, Shakira Frazier, asking them, do you want it? Meanwhile, Joel Diaz wants the combinations, and after, when you and I broke down tape together, we noted that Butaev really manages distance well, takes a step back before smothering his offense.
He really does not smother his punches. He takes a little step back, like you mentioned, to gain leverage, as he's showing just now.
You know, Frazier told James to fight at distance and get the jab going. And he starts out this round not doing it.
And Butaev is ensuring that he may not be able to do it, as James showing his heart, showing his grit, his determination.
And he's still really not good punches.
Incredible punches.
The problem is Butaev is just outstrength. He's showing better strength on the inside.
Overhand right by Butaev.
Yeah, if you're James, you don't want to be stationary. You don't want to stay put. But Butaev's pressure again.
Butaev intent on making James' face look like a kindergartner who carves out a jack-o'-lantern here on the night before Halloween. And Al, when we look at the records past round 7, well, James has a big advantage in terms of being there.
Yeah, the problem with all that, and it is true he has a big advantage, is he's taking that body punishment, and that's going to diminish his effectiveness as the rounds go on.
I mean, I think James has the athleticism to carry the fight, but not like he would want to because his legs are not underneath him.
And our unofficial score, Steve Farhood has Butaev pulling even. The momentum definitely in favor of the Russian, now residing in Las Vegas, was at one time wrestler in, of course, Dagestan, Russia. Known for its wrestlers, but he is looking to, well, wrest a secondary title away from Jamal James and introduce himself to the elite level at 147.
Every time James punches, he's falling in, making himself more vulnerable to one of Butaev's punches.
Step back.
Man, James was off for 14 months, and here now, 45 seconds left in the 8th, still continues to come forward, even though he's not getting the better of these exchanges, Abner.
Yeah, even though James is not getting the best of these exchanges, he's still game. He's still in the fight. He's still letting his hands go. The uppercuts, I mean, they're still landing. Again, he's trying, but his legs are not underneath him. He would want to move a little more there. He's showing it.
We have completed 8 rounds of brutal and beautiful boxing. Butaev and James letting it all hang out. Well, Showtime Sports, the home of premier combat sports action, Friday, November 5th, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific, Bellator 270, live from 3 Arena in Dublin, Ireland. Lightweight title on the line as Peter the Showstopper Quealy enters the cage for a highly anticipated rematch with Patricky Pitbull. And then Chris Cyborg returns to the cage to defend her featherweight crown against Sinead Kavanagh. Bellator 271, Friday, November 12th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central. And then Friday, December 3rd, the Phenom versus the Typhoon. Sergio Pettis defends the Bellator Bantamweight title for the first time in an international clash against former Bellator champion, current Ryzen champ Kyoji Horiguchi. Bellator 272 comes your way at 10 Eastern and Pacific, only on Showtime. And we continue with Go Time between Butaev and James, round 9.
And I'm really looking forward to the Pettis-Horiguchi match. I think that's going to be a great one. You know,
I agree.
Yes, you know a little more about that than me.
Really?
You know, the jabs, I tell a story. They've thrown almost the exact number of jabs, and 8 more landed for Butaev. The reason that's important is we did not expect that to be an even stat in this fight.
Well, here in round 9, they have now combined to throw well over 1,000 punches, and in terms of the jab, Al, it's close.
Yeah, and it's not supposed to be that close with Butaev, even with an edge, because that's supposed to be the punch that James uses the most.
And so far, it's a good round for James. This one, he's using the little push right there, the jab in the right hand.
I agree.
At a great distance, yes.
He's off to a good start in this round 9, and he needs to.
Yeah, coming into this fight, Alan, I think you mentioned it, more than 50% of James' punch output is courtesy of the stick.
Yep. And this round, he started off, as Abner said, with a different mindset. We'll see if he can continue it. Look at him. He's using a jab, just a little out of movement, and then he gets out again. That's exactly what Frazier wants.
Butaev continues to work the body, and some veteran moves there too. Again, a standout amateur fighter working with Joel Diaz to become more of a professional fighter. Sit down on his punches, and boy, the pro style suiting him quite well as he's kept at bay with that jab from James.
And let me tell you something, guys. There is such thing as second win, and I'm seeing that from James right now. Got a second win. He's moving well, throwing the jab. He's being really effective.
But he is being marked up by this bludgeoning attack of Radzhab Butaev, the 27-year-old, 13-0 with 1 no contest, 10 knockouts, now teeing off on James. Less than a minute left in the 9th.
He's hurt,
The referee steps in and stops the fight.
My, oh my.
Come on,
Celestino Ruiz made We would remember his name in this fight tonight.
Well, James did not complain very much, but that was an intriguing situation.
You know, we recently saw Shakur Stevenson, Jamal Herring. When Herring was stopped by the referee, there was a smidgen. He should have been allowed to continue. I mean, Shakur Stevenson was dominating that fight. We were in the midst of a very competitive and highly entertaining bout. I don't know, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. We may get further comment after, but I just... Interesting.
Well, and there's the sportsman, Jamal James.
Yeah, and he's a great human being, but he didn't complain when it was
Abner, what do you think?
I mean, James not complaining.
But what if that were you, Abner?
He was taking some shots, but I agree with you because he was still in this fight. And just as I was saying, he was having a great round until that, last punches right there.
I've always said a punch early instead of a punch too soon, but I mean, James was still in the fight.
Well, he was winning that round. The round had changed with Butaev doing a really good work, but for a brief period of time. Well, anyway, this man who fought...
Yeah, let's not bury the headline. Radzhab Butaev with a brilliant performance.
We'll go back and revisit how this fight ended and what happened heading into the calling of this fight. Now, remember, as we said, James had a good first portion of the round, but now Butaev really picked up the pace and was landing good punches.
No, that
way, man, oh man.
Yeah, I don't understand that stoppage, but
not how you want. And again, it's become cliche saying the same thing. It's not a way you want to end any fight, but especially one like this. Two blood and guts warriors putting it all on the line, knowing how important this fight is to their respective careers in one of the most hotly contested and deepest division in the sport. This is where you can make serious money.
Well, and the part that's in there is James complaining. So we said he didn't complain, but guess what? He did. We see it on that replay. That's very odd to me. It just doesn't make much sense in a round that James had won to a certain point, and then, Butaev did good work, and it was a great performance by him.
Yeah, like you said, again, not taking anything away from Butaev's work, what he was doing in there, but, definitely not the right call.
Yeah, Butaev was able to flow just like his fro, and let's take a look at the show stats. The numbers out.
Yeah, and a big part of this, of course, Butaev had surged to the lead in punches. The point deduction made the judging maybe a little closer, but a key number, again, those jabs. Butaev landing 9 more jabs. You may say, what's the big deal? Well, it is a big deal because he was not supposed to do that in this fight, and that helps. That plus the fact that he switched to lefty changed the fight.
Just been informed that the referee and the commission have declined to be interviewed by our Jim Gray, so we will further endeavor to try to find out what happened. We're going to try to talk to both fighters, and there again, Jamal James, Radzhab Butaev, that's the picture you want to see after a fight like that. Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time. 2 minutes, 12 seconds in round number 9. Our referee in charge stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout. He is still undefeated. And now the WBA welterweight title holder, Radzhab No Mercy Butaev.
Radzhab Butaev showing no mercy to a game. Jamal James Butaev now has a belt. He is now 14-0 with 1 no contest, and he just recorded his 11th knockout victory, the biggest of his burgeoning career. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Mauro, thank you very much. Vadim will translate for us. I could hear you screaming, and the new champion. How exciting is this moment for you, and what does it mean?
Сейчас только что стал чемпионом мира. Как для тебя это важно, и что это для тебя значит?
Для меня это очень важно. Это первая ступень того, чего я хотел добиться. Не сказать, что я стал чемпионом мира и удовлетворен. Я знаю, что я лучший в своем весе, и это первая ступенька к тому, чтобы доказать всем, что я лучший. Я жду следующих вызовов. То, что я завоевал болт, это ничего не значит. Это только начало.
This is very important. This is a big step for me, but it's only my first step. This is my dream, and I became a world champion. But I believe that everything is ahead of me, and I'm looking for the biggest challenges. This is the first step, and I took it today. And I'm looking to try to prove that I'm one of the best in this division, and I'm very happy today.
How are you able to overcome the point deduction and the referee constantly stopping you throughout the fight with your momentum?
Для тебя как-то беспокоило то, что сняли очко, и то, что рефери где-то не давал и останавливал бой, тебя-то как-то это сбивало с ритма?
Не сказать, что я имею что-то против рефери, это его работа, он знает ее лучше меня, но я люблю, когда два человека боксируют, им не мешают, чтобы не происходило в ринге, они дерутся, их на каждую секунду не останавливают, разнимают, чтобы что-то объяснить. Там, я люблю, чтобы они давали драться все 3 минуты полноценные и просто так не останавливали бой. А то, что сняли очки, да, возможно, я был виноват, так и должно было быть.
I have nothing against the referee. I have all the respect. It's just I personally like to have a back and forth fight. I don't like for it to be stopped. You know, everybody has their own way of doing things. But I like it exciting style. I like go back and forth. And the fact that he took a point off, I have nothing against it. It's his right. He saw it the way he saw it.
Was it your plan to keep switching?
Часть плана было менять стойку.
Да, я долгое время отрабатывал именно стойку в левше, готовясь к этому бою. Это был план, первые 3-4 раунда боксировать так, потом поменять стойку, чтобы оставить его врасплох. Мы над этим работали, это хорошо получалось.
Yes, definitely. My team and I worked a lot on this, and in all the sparring sessions we switched and we did 3-4 rounds in southpaw, and I wanted to use this in the fight, and it worked for me in sparring, so it worked for me tonight as well.
Was it your feeling that the fight should be stopped at the point it was?
Ты чувствовал то, что бой должен был быть остановлен там, где он был остановлен?
Да, еще бы немного, было бы все намного хуже. Я уже чувствовал, как я его как я его сломал, и еще бы немного могло все намного хуже случиться.
Yes, because I felt that it was coming to the point where it could have ended a lot worse, and I felt that it was the right thing to do because I knew that I had him almost.
Он оказался намного крепче, чем я ожидал. Я знал, что он крепкий парень, я смотрел его бои, но он оказался намного крепче, чем я ожидал, поэтому было его тяжело сломать, но я это сделал.
I knew that this guy is tough. I knew that Jamal James is a real tough fighter, and I have a lot of respect for him. But to be honest with you, tonight he showed a lot of heart, and he was a lot better than I expected. He was a lot tougher than I expected. All the respect to the champion that I fought tonight.
Thank you. Congratulations to you.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Jamal, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I want to thank everybody from Minnesota that came out, everybody in Vegas, all my family, friends. I love y'all, all my supporters. You know, it wasn't my night tonight. Big shout out to Butaev. Big shout out to Ennis, man. These guys came through and did their thing. I'm going to bounce back stronger and harder. I want to give a sincere thank you to Al Heyman and his whole team. I want to give a big shout out to the Circle of Discipline and all my people back in Minneapolis. Sorry I couldn't bring the belt back, but best believe I'll be back and I'm gonna get another shot for sure.
Did you feel as though the fight should have been stopped at that moment?
Nah, man, I'd rather go out on my shield, out on the floor if I'm gonna go out. I still felt that I had strong will. Obviously he was catching me with some pretty nice shots, but I felt that it was still very competitive, but that's why we have a referee, because, I'll keep fighting until I can't no more, so.
What do you think was the turning point in this fight for you? What was the difference?
Well, he was just a better man tonight. I don't want to make excuses. I kind of had a long layoff. I had some rust on me.
How important was that, and did it play a role in the fight?
I just couldn't keep him at bay with my range like I would have liked to. I just think that rust kind of played a part in it. But, that's boxing, man. That's boxing. Some nights it ain't your night. Unfortunately, it wasn't my night tonight on a big fight like this. But, God willing, I continue to get some other opportunities. I'm going to keep giving it my all.
Jamal, thanks for talking to us, and we're glad you're okay.
Thank you guys, man. Again, big shout out to Al Heyman. Happy birthday to my lady and my sister, man. They just had birthdays. They came out and showed love. You know, we're going to keep going. We're going to bounce back. Thank you, Showtime.